best vice president America's ever had, Mr. Joe Biden.
The bond between President Obama and his vice president is deep and real. Picked for his foreign policy experience, the two were colleagues who became friends. Joe Biden took the job as long as he was the last voice in the room before the president made a decision.
Mr. President, you have more than kept your commitment to me by saying that you wanted me to help govern.
Joe Biden has been at Obama's side during some of the toughest, tensest, trying times of his presidency. From the White House, he's pushed women's rights, renewal of the legislation he authored in the Senate Violence Against Women Act.
No means no. In the classroom, in a car, on the campus.
And highlighted the problem of sexual assault on university campuses. He also pushed the president to take a position on an important social issue, to get closer to the Democratic Party's grassroots.
His comments on gay marriage, which I think were a little bit unplanned, and people might call that a gaffe or a goof, but it actually ended up having policy consequences that I think most people in the Democratic Party are happy with. He pushed the party in a direction that they kind of wanted to go anyway, and so his unscriptedness isn't inherently a bad thing.
He suffered a real personal tragedy while one heartbeat away from the presidency. His son Beau, a rising political star, died from brain cancer in May 2015. It was a devastating loss, and was the main reason he chose not to run for the presidency himself in 2016. He would go back to Delaware, his home state, as often as he could to support his son's family.
If things hadn't happened the way they happened and Joe had ran to be president of the United States, I think he would have won. Those blue-collar people within the party would have been right there with Joe, hand in hand with Joe, because they know where he comes from, they know what his background is, and so things would have been a whole lot different.
Delaware has always been important for Joe Biden. It's his political power base, the state he represented in the Senate for years. And when he finally leaves the White House, he'll come back here, to the place he calls home. Joe Biden's the man who's had the most influence for the longest period of any modern vice president. He says he will continue to focus on the fight against cancer, raising money and awareness, hoping to find a cure, to create a legacy that says something more than vice president. Alan Fisher, Al Jazeera, Wilmington, Delaware.